Hi, I'm Amanda Olson, and I'm a doctor of physical therapy and certified pelvic floor rehabilitation specialist. And today we are going to talk about foods and drinks that irritate the bladder that can result in urinary incontinence. So, the biggest causes of bladder irritation are generally the foods and drinks that are the most fun. And these include caffeine, so obviously black coffee, green tea, soda, and even decaffeinated coffee can have trace amounts of caffeine in it. And so anything with caffeine in it or anything that's a stimulant is going to irritate the bladder. Additionally, tomato-based products, foods that are high in citrus, so obviously oranges, lemons, limes, um, sometimes pears and cranberry even can be irritating to the bladder. And then foods and drinks that are containing artificial sweeteners. So Splenda or anything that's in a diet product. So if the food is labeled as being a diet product like a diet soda, those artificial sweeteners are bladder irritants as well. And then alcohol is a bladder irritant. And the way that we can look at this is that when we have those kinds of products, they get into the walls of the bladder and they irritate the walls of the bladder. And the bladder says, I don't like you, get out. And it will send this message to your brain saying, get this out, get this out, get this out. And so if you have high quantities of these, so if you're using your coffee pot as a cup and drinking high amounts of caffeine every day, you're going to find yourself going to the restroom to urinate more frequently. And going more frequently than every hour and a half to 2 hours is more than normal. So on the average day, a normally functioning bladder needs to urinate about 8 times. And that is, of course, dependent on if you've been chugging water all day and it's a really hot day, or you're obviously going to go less if you've had less to drink. But eating and drinking these kinds of foods is going to make you need to go more frequently. One thing that you can do to counteract having a bladder irritant is to follow it with water. So what I tell my patients is that 1 cup of coffee per day isn't going to kill you unless you have a more severe diagnosis and your physician has told you absolutely no caffeine. 1 cup of coffee a day is going to be fine. But you want to follow that with a cup of water. And what that's going to do is it's going to come in behind that coffee and help clean out the walls of that bladder, and you're going to urinate it out. Being dehydrated allows those chemicals to settle into the bladder even more, and it can lead to more prolonged irritation of the bladder just really wanting that material out. Likewise, a glass of wine with dinner is not going to do you in. But if you had 3 cups of coffee with breakfast and had diet soda all day, and then you're getting home at night and having a glass of wine or lots and lots of marinara sauce or eating cherry tomatoes like they're candy, all of those things add up. So if you're bothered by the frequency that you're going to the bathroom, you're going to want to be mindful of these certain types of foods and drinks. The one thing that I always tell my patients is that where I appreciate and understand being flexible in some of the foods and drinks that bring us joy in life, artificial sweeteners and things found in soda are not good. And those really you should work on eliminating those entirely. There's nothing of nutritional value. They're not doing you any good. And the harmful side effects of those can be greater than just in the bladder itself. So cutting back slowly on your soda intake or going cold turkey are both options. Sometimes it can create a little bit of a headache to try to go cold turkey and to just quit suddenly. So you might find yourself needing to decrease it slowly over time. And that goes with really any caffeinated beverage. Some people can just quit coffee and it's no big deal. And some people do get some pretty gnarly headaches. So reducing it by about 10% per week is reasonable. And just taking your time and coming back behind it with plenty of water. Those are the bladder irritants, and for a more complete list, you can visit my website at www.amandaolsondpt.com.